Alright guys, today I'm going to be in the Operations Center mobile app, and we're going to be talking about the setup icon down at the bottom. So you have your 5 quick buttons down there at the bottom: Home, Map, Setup, Plan, and Analyze. Today we're going to be talking about Setup. So click into our Setup here. Gives us our 4 options. So Equipment, LAN, Products, and Team. Going to be pretty similar to what you see in the Operations Center web page. So if I click on Equipment here, going to give me an overview of the equipment in my account. I can kind of filter it out if I have a big list by make, model, and type. I can click on each one of these pieces of equipment if I want to. So I'll click on the sprayer. Gives me an overview of that. Tells me if JD-Link connectivity is activated. Can view it on the map. Click on pairings up top here. Shows me the display, the modem, serial numbers of all of that. It shows me the serial number of the receiver as well, and the software version and all this. And I can click on each one of those. Again, kind of gives you an overview of the component that's associated with the piece of equipment. If I need to, I click this plus sign down here in the bottom right if I want to go in and add equipment manually. I only recommend you do this on a piece of equipment that's not connected. If it does have a modem in it, get with the dealer and we can get the piece of equipment dropped into your account and it'll show up. But if you want to manually add a piece of equipment that is not connected, you can go in and do it this way. Same thing up top here. If you click on implements, you're going to get an overview of your implements. You can click on each one. Not going to be any pairings with most of this stuff. And then you can filter it out. Again, you got the plus button down on the bottom right if you need to go in and manually add something. And then same thing with devices. So this is going to be your displays, modems, and receivers. You can come through here and get an overview of all of those. Click on each one. Gives you an overview. If you need to add it, you can go down there at the bottom and add it as well. It's not going to show up. Your displays and receivers aren't going to show up in this list unless they are connected to the machine and JD-Link connectivity is activated. We'll go back to the main page here. We'll go to land. Here you get an overview of all your client farms and fields. I can scroll down through this list. I can filter it all down. I'll drop it down here. I can come and click on my farm MLK. Gives me an overview of that field. I can change the field name here if I want to. I can swap clients, swap the farm. Tells me the active boundary that's associated with that field, the workable area. I can go view it on the map. Come up top here, click on boundaries. Shows me my active boundary. Gives me an overview of it, kind of some information. I can archive it from my mobile device if I need to. I can view the archived. If I had an archive boundary in here, I could come in and make it active and swap it. Same thing with my guidance lines. Get a little overview of that. Drop it down. I get a latitude and longitude of each point. A heading. I can change the name of the guidance line. I can archive it. If I had archive guidance lines, I can make them active for that field. And then same thing with flags. Get a little overview. Here in the app, I can actually go in and take a photo and associate it with that flag. You won't be able to view it on the display, but it's something you can use in your mobile devices for documentation or just to help yourself out. I can get directions straight to that flag, or I can share the directions up top here, or I can archive that. Up top, I can get a whole overview of my fields. If I need to come in, I can manually add a field if I want to. Same thing on clients and farms. You'll get the same options. If you need to manually add something, you can go and do it that way as well. A lot of this, though, is going to be in correlation with having data sync enabled on all your devices. So if you have data sync enabled, if you make a change here on your device, it'll sync with all your other equipment, preventing you from having to send out new setup files. That way you can kind of do all this on the go. We do have another video within our library discussing data sync, so if you want to check that out. Next, we'll move on to products here. Again, up top, you got varieties, chemicals, fertilizers, tank mix, and dry blends. Here's going to be a list of varieties in my organization: chemicals, fertilizers, tank mix, dry blends. Going to kind of be the same principle as the other things. If I click add down here at the bottom, and you start searching for something. I can search. I'll search Bex, and then it gives me this whole list of Bex options. I can come in here and add. I can select one. Or I can select as many as I need to and click add, and it'll make it a variety within my organization. If I need to, I can click add custom variety, the name of the variety, brand, and crop. Same thing here on chemicals. Type in a chemical name, start typing, and it should, most of the time it's going to bring up whichever brands of chemical you're using. You should be able to find it, but again, if not, you have that option to add a custom chemical. Same thing with fertilizers, tank mixes. You can come into tank mixes now that you build within, so you can name the tank mix, whatever crop, the overall application. Again, select products, add your carrier. Pretty self-explanatory within this app here, but again, you have the ability to go and add these tank mixes now. So if something changes on the day of, you can go in and build a new tank mix. And then same thing with dry blends. So you can come into dry blends, very similar to tank mixes. Give an overview of that. Type in your target application rate, select the products within that dry blend, and then you're ready to go. Lastly, we'll talk about team. Again, you can come in and add staff members if you need to, operators, partners, dealers. You can also come in and manually add them if you need to. It'll take you to a direct link on the Operations Center website. Most time I just recommend to add these via the website, but you do have the option to do that within the app now. So again, that's just a real brief overview of the setup tab within your Operations Center mobile app. A lot of this is you'll be helped out a lot if you enable data sync. That way, when you make changes through your app, it'll all sync out to your equipment.